Hey everybody, welcome to Choxy's Den. Just gonna come on for a minute or so, or 10 or 15, 20 minutes and ramble a little bit. If you're a subscriber, thank you for watching, tuning in again. And if you've never seen me before, stick around. I might make you laugh or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I want to talk about dogs today. Because, I love dogs. I have a dog walking business I have, and I board dogs sometimes. And it's fun. I love it. I love dogs. And I want to talk about one. I mean, there's me. I'm on. This is Choxy's Den. So there's Choxy. I'm sorry this picture's so cloudy, people, but the light in this house is really bad. But that was Choxy. I'm Den. Choxy's Den. But there's another little dog I want to talk about named Charlie, who was one of the dogs I used to walk years ago. And it's kind of a nice story because he was about 4 years old when I started walking him. And he was a cool little dog. He's a little toy poodle, a little white toy poodle. I'm gonna show you his picture. This is like a prop video too, because don't turn away because he's a little poodle. It's a tough little dog right here. This is a tough little guy right there, Charlie. I actually named Choxy because of the first two letters of Charlie's name is CH, and my old dog Roxy was Roxy, so I came up with the name Choxy. I combined Charlie and Roxy together. Came up with Choxy. And I love Choxy. She's such a good little dog. And Charlie was a dog I started walking years ago. Probably how long I've been in business? I think 2007. About 2007, I started. And he was one of the first dogs I started walking because at the time my dog Roxy was alive, and she had died a few months later after I started the dog walking business. And Charlie was this little toy poodle. He was a handful. I mean, anybody with a toy poodle knows they can be a little ornery, but I love this guy. I love this little dog. He was a tough little guy. He was, I get into little arguments with him sometimes. Like if we're walking in the woods, I get like a little twig or something stuck in his hair and his fur, and I have to pick him up and try to twist it out. And he'd like, Charlie, stop it. Charlie, stop it. Charlie, you can't hurt me, Charlie. You got little squirrel teeth. And he just like, okay. He just settled in. They give me kisses on my nose. Eventually, just give up. And I love this dog so much. And over the years, I walked him. And when he got to be around, he lived to be. He was almost 16 when he passed away. So I walked him from the time he was 4 until the time he was around 12. Was he? Yeah, he was like 16. And his owner, nice woman, but she started traveling a lot, and her kids were all out of the house, and they'd been to college, and they had their families of their own, so they moved out. And Charlie didn't like women's feet too much. He'd like if they were walking around the kitchen floor, he'd be trying to bite their toes and stuff. And I can see why they would like that. But Charlie had his own style. And so eventually the woman, she retired. She wanted to do some traveling and stuff, so she wouldn't have time to take care of him. So she asked me if I'd be his guardian. Like, yeah, I'll take him. Yeah. So basically, I owned him. Yeah, she didn't take him back. She'd pay for his vet bills and everything too for the last 4 years of his life or so. And it was great. I love this little puppy. I love this little dog so much. Like I say, he was an ornery little guy. He was kind of, I guess you can say he was kind of like a, what's the word? Kind of like me. Kind of like an outcast in his own family. Kind of. I'm not really an outcast, but a little bit. And I still got a lot of my family, but he was kind of like a refugee kind of. So me and him had a lot in common. Me and this little dog. And when I first started boarding him and stuff, I want to show you this sweatshirt. This is the sweatshirt. I wore this for a reason. This sweatshirt, if you see it, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like holes in it, holes in the thing and everything, and it's kind of beat up looking. But when I first started walking Charlie, I boarded him a few times, and he'd come over the house, and I'd leave a sweatshirt on the couch. This sweatshirt in particular. I looked over one day. He's chewing on a thing. I'm like, Charlie, what are you doing to my sweatshirt? So I go over, I pick up the sweatshirt. It's all got holes in it. I'm like, Charlie. I had to throw a sweatshirt in the trash. And I looked at the sweatshirt. I looked at him and said, you know what? someday, Charlie, you're gonna be gone, and this sweatshirt's gonna be like a beautiful reminder and a trophy to having you, buddy. I said to him, I picked him up. He's giving me nose kisses and everything. I love this dog so much. And when he died a few years ago, it broke my heart. But I mean, it was bad. I mean, I felt like I was mourning a person. It was terrible. And that was just about 6 years ago, because I got Choxy right after when Charlie left. I got Choxy not too long after. I wasn't gonna get another dog. The day Charlie started having seizures or something, and it just like go flipping out in the middle of the night. He woke up in the middle of the night one night, like he get bitten by something, like a spider or something. Like, what the hell? He's crying and barking, and it was terrible. It was terrible to watch. And I brought him to the vet, and they couldn't find out what was wrong with him. They gave him this stuff. Don't give your dog Rimadril. I know there's gonna be vet techs on here. Rimadril's safe. It's not. You know, he went in there for having seizures. They gave him this stuff called Rimadril for I think it was like arthritis or a muscle relaxer or something. They maybe give him this stuff, and within 5 days he was gone. You know, the first day, you know, he had to force it on him. I had to wrap it in like cheese, and he didn't want to take it. He probably knew it was poison. He probably knew, and I feel so much guilt for this to this day that I made him take this stuff, because the first day or two he just started like in his poop would get like black and tarry and just black, and then he started pooping blood, and he wasn't doing this. I mean, he had some seizures and stuff in his mind, and that's what ended up being with the when I thought he had this spider bite. So every once in a while I go in these panics. So they gave him this Rimadril stuff, and he within 5 days he was gone. I mean, it destroyed his organs. I mean, he was just, you know, he was like pooping blood, and he was just in pain the last few days of his life. And well, I don't know if he was in pain, but he was in pretty tough shape. So I brought him into to the vet to see if they could help him, and they said, "Yeah, we're sorry, no, he's not gonna make it," you know. So I was, I'm not gonna lie, I was bawling my eyes out when this dog passed away, because I love this little dog so much. Look at him, that was Charlie, my little buddy Charlie. And so I had them put him to sleep, which was terrible. And I brought him to this emergency vet, and I would never bring them there again. I'll never bring my dog to this place again, any dogs I have, because I walked in with them. And the night before I was there with them, the very night before, and they sent me home with some canned food, and that was it. And I brought him in that next day, and oh, this dog is so sick. Why'd you bring him in sooner? I'm like, I brought him in here last night, and they took him away from him. Like, I want to go in there with him. Oh, no, you can't come in with us. So basically, they brought him in the back room. They came back out and told me that it was a good idea to let him go and put him to rest. And I agreed. You know, I was really in bad shape. I was crying, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I was crying, and I mean, it hurt. And so they bring him out like a little stretcher, and I was so you say goodbye to him. I thought he'd be alert and stuff, so I could say goodbye. But I don't know if they'd already put him to sleep in that back room. And so I'm saying goodbye to him and everything, and he wasn't responding. And they said, "Okay, are you ready?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, go ahead." And supposedly they pumped it into him, and he was gone. But I think he was gone before they even brought him out. And that pisses me off to this day that I let them bring him in that back room without me being with him, because you should be with your dog. When his last sight should be you, the person he loves, and vice versa. You know, I wanted to be the last person he saw, and they robbed me of that. This place, that's Tufts Veterinary Clinic. Yeah, I've never been to many. I'll never bring another dog there, and I go to another emergency vet now. If I have to bring a dog to a vet for an emergency, I bring him to a different place. But I'll never bring another dog there. So I went outside, and I'm sitting in my truck, and it was a beautiful, like October day, blue sky, kind of crisp feeling in the air. I had my other dog Katie with me. You know, she was still alive at the time. She was a good dog too, but she was right next to me. And I'm sitting there crying in my truck, and I look up at the sky. It's blue, and I could just kind of picture Charlie going up to heaven. I believe in doggy heaven. I believe dogs go to heaven, because in the Bible it says we have perfect joy in heaven, and there's nothing would be more joyful to me than be reunited with my pets, with my dogs. So I believe dogs go to heaven. You don't have to believe it if you don't want to. I don't care. I believe it. I just imagine him floating up to heaven, looking down at me, sitting in my truck crying. And I have this picture in my mind because Troxy's a little bit like him. Like she's not ornery or anything, but she's got like a little moody, little moods. And nothing, she doesn't bite at dogs or bite me or anything. She's just, she can be a little moody sometimes. And when she sees the other dogs on TV, when she sees a dog on TV, she goes nuts. I don't know why. But so I just picture Charlie going up to heaven and looking down at the truck and seeing me crying. And I always want to believe there's like a little bit of his spirit floated down over Massachusetts, and he found the perfect puppy for me, like in Tennessee. I don't know how, but I get the feeling like a little bit of his spirit went to Troxy before he left for heaven. And I'll always believe that because I think Charlie picked Troxy out for me because I wasn't gonna get another dog right away. She was a puppy. She was only like, when I saw her online, she was about 6 weeks old or something. I had her by the time she was 12 weeks old. I've had her, and I just remember Charlie that day. I just imagine him going up to heaven in that blue sky. And I wear this sweatshirt sometimes. I mean, it's a mess. I mean, it's got like little fur balls on it and holes on it. But still, my favorite, probably my favorite sweatshirt. I don't wear it that much, but I wanted to wear it today just to explain why I'd wear it. Because this is a shirt that Charlie, my little buddy Charlie, was chewing holes in. I couldn't get mad at him. I was like, Charlie, you're chewing my sweatshirt up. I almost threw it away, and I had this thought that someday you're gonna be gone, Charlie. I'm gonna want this sweatshirt as a reminder that I had you. And a lot of you might think this is ghoulish, but I had this. His owner paid for everything. The cremation, vet visits, and everything. She was great. I mean, she loved me because I love this dog so much, and she knew it. And it was just an honor that she asked me if I would take care of him. Because I was like, did she expect me to say no? Like all those years, I was like, I wish this was my dog. I wish it was my dog. And then all of a sudden, she gives him to me. It was like 3 or 4 years before he passed away. I had him all that time, and so he got cremated. And I walk dogs every day for a living, and I still carry him to this day. He's in here. That's a little bandana, and this was his harness, this red harness. This was one of his harnesses. He had this one. He had the blue one. I think he's wearing the blue one and the other one. And that was his coat. We had a few of these harnesses. The red one is the one this is the one he passed away in when I brought him in that day. And so he's in like a beautiful little urn, and I wrapped it up, and I carry it with me every single day on my walks. I put Charlie on my shoulder like this, and he goes with me on every walk because I used to walk along in the woods and carry him. And say, Charlie, I'll carry you forever, buddy. I'll carry you forever. They give me nose kisses. And this is 7 years ago. I'm so upset about this dog. And so anybody out there is a dog lover, you know what I'm feeling. You know how it feels. And when it's Charlie's time, I'm going to be devastated too. It's just, I mean, I hate to even think about that stuff. She has a good long life ahead of her. And but I thought Charlie did. Yeah, I knew Charlie did, but it went by. It just goes by too fast when you have a little dog. You have a big dog. It doesn't matter what size the dog is. But when you have a dog, the time just goes by way too fast. So that's why you got to treat them good when they're here. I hear stories about people abusing dogs and stuff. There was just a thing I saw in the news here, not too far from where I live, out in the burbs somewhere. Some guy threw a dog off a roof, off of like a 3-story roof, just out of the window or something. I would love to take that guy and throw him off a skyscraper. I'm not gonna lie to you. To abuse a dog like that, I just don't get. I don't see it. I don't see why people would do that. Why have a dog if that's what you're gonna do? Give the dog away. And Troxy, the story that came with her was when she was down in Tennessee. The family she lived with, there was a daughter-in-law that had the dog and had the puppies. And the story goes, the father-in-law, didn't like the dogs whining, so he was gonna shoot them. Little puppies, like 6-week-old puppies. You got to take them out of the field and shoot them or something. So she had to bring the dogs to a shelter. And excuse me. So luckily she did, because the Choxie survived, and her siblings did. She had 3 siblings. 2 of them came here to Massachusetts with her. One of them, I know who it is. Friends on Facebook, and they met up once a couple of years ago. Choxie and her sister, Noel. They met up. Was it Noel? Yeah, Noel. They met up for a little walk, and it was pretty cool. They didn't recognize each other, but they, it's pretty cool to see them together. I got some pictures of them together, and it was pretty cool. But just love your dogs. That's all you gotta do. If you gotta get a dog, love the dog. I feel, Chuck's just, I'm laying in my petting her right now. She loves it, but she's a beautiful dog, Choxie. She's just such a good girl. And Charlie, I know Charlie's up in heaven waiting for me someday. We're all gonna be reunited. My buddy Charlie, look at him. He's just the coolest little dog, and I have him with me all the time. People might think I'm crazy, but I carry him with me in this urn every time I'm out in the woods, every single day. I got Charlie with me. It's because I was carrying him. He'd get tired sometimes. I'd pick him up and carry him and through the woods. And he was under 10 pounds. I think he was like 9 or 10 pounds or something like that. He wasn't a heavy dog at all. So I'd pick him up quite a bit, and he'd look around and give me kisses, and it was great. But he had moments like like I was saying, like when they try to get something out of his fur or something, try to pick a tick off of him. Oh, it's terrible. But I just said, Charlie, what are you doing that for? I joke around. I'm like, I can take you, Charlie. I can take you in a fight. And he's just looking at me, and start giving me kisses, and it was just nice having a dog like that. And it's beautiful having a dog, Choxie too. But just take care of your dogs, people. I know I'm forgetting to mention something about them. I don't know what it is, but I think I covered everything. The Rimadril. If you have an older dog, especially, vet tries to give you a Rimadril, just say no. This wasn't worth it. It was terrible to watch. And I feel like I poisoned them. I feel like I poisoned that little dog. And I always wondered what would happen if I didn't give that stuff to him. He might have still kept having the seizures. He was supposed to. I made an appointment from the doggy neurologist, but the appointment was like 3 months out. And I just wondered what would happen if I never gave him that Rimadril. If we got him to the doggy neurologist on time, if he could have been changed, saved and cured, because he almost made the 6th. I think he was 15. I think he was like a month away from his 16th birthday. So he was like 15 and almost 16 years old. He was healthy. I mean, I'd bring him over to my sister's house. My brother-in-law would say, "Oh, look, he's jumping up and down the couch. He's like a puppy." I'm like, "Yeah, Charlie's he's in good shape for his age." And then he did it, jump up on the couch and on the bed. He was like a little puppy, and he just started having those seizures for some reason, and it just from down there went downhill. And he'd have like 1 a day, maybe 2 a day sometimes, and it was just so painful to watch because it was like he was in pain. Like he'd cry like a baby, like a person, for a few minutes, and then just finally calmed down. It'd be all right, but it was scary to watch. And I was hoping the vet would help him, but they give him Rimadril. Rimadril. Don't give that to the dogs. Okay, I know there's gonna be somebody on here. If you ever watch this video, Rimadril is apparently safe for dogs. No, I'd like to hold up one of my digits to you right now, but I might get kicked off of YouTube. No, it's not good. It's not good stuff. I went on a forum afterwards. I didn't realize until afterwards. I should have went on a forum beforehand, before I started getting on the stuff, because I looked it up afterwards. I'm reading these forums and people saying it was. I brought my dog in the one thing, and they gave him this Rimadril, and he was within a week he was gone. And there was like hundreds of these stories, and I'm like, why didn't I just look at this stuff up before I gave it to him? And do that, people. If a vet, they're human too. They learn to give medications just like human doctors learn to give us medications. So this guy give you dog a medication. They don't know what's in it. They don't know what it's gonna do most of the time. Just do your own research before you give your dog anything. I do it all the time now. I just anytime, like for Choxie, luckily she hasn't. She was on antibiotics I think a couple of years ago for she got in a tick bite, and so she's got Lyme in her blood now, but she's fine. But they'd given her some kind of antibiotic, and I looked it up. It was fine. I hoped it was. And you just gotta be careful with your dogs. Love your dogs. And I want to think of some more Charlie stories too eventually. But I used to want to bring him on my motorcycle with me, but he wasn't my dog. He was my dog in the last 3 or 4 years, but I wasn't like, I didn't want to ask his owner, hey, do you mind if I bring Charlie on my motorcycle with me? I just didn't want to do that. And I probably should have just brought him on it with me. But Choxie, I bring on my motorcycle. You got to see her on my motorcycle this year. The last couple of years, I've been bringing her on my bikes. And she loves it. I put her in milk crates. They're all enclosed. I think I showed one before when I had the setup for her, but it's all enclosed, and she's not going to jump out. And she loves it. I say, Choxie, want to go for a ride in the motorcycle? She runs right out to the bike, and she if she didn't like it, she'd hide. I would assume she'd just go hide under the bed or something. But she likes going with me. I'll bring her someplace to visit people, and when it's time to go, I'm saying, Choxie, time to go on the bike. And she runs right to the bike, jumps up on the seat, jumps up on my seat, and waits to get in her little crate. And she loves it. I love taking her places with it because it's people laugh at me going, point going down the street, look at that dog, look at that dog. And it's just fun. But Charlie was a good little dog. I just want to tell a little story. And if anybody ever sees me walking down in the woods with this wrapped around my neck, it looks like one of those little things that the kids used to run away from home, put a little stick through a little bag. That's how it looks like. But I have it on a leash. I don't have it on a little stick. So I guess that's about it for today, people. I don't know what I'm going to name this video. Charlie's Ashes. Yeah, maybe let's go with that. And I want to do another video. I'm just touch on it right now about younger generation and why they don't help older people out. This is like a snow story, like a snow removal story. It happened to me today. It wasn't about me. It was like a friend of mine. He's like 80 years old. And it just goes into another thing. But I'll make another video about that. I was trying to decide which video to make today. But I wanted to do a nice video about my little buddy, Charlie. And I missed the little guy. I missed the little guy a lot. And but I have Choxie. Choxie is awesome. But she's just laying there sleeping. Yeah. Just saying that. Hey, Chox. Perfect little dog. Very low maintenance. But anyway, people, it was nice talking to you. I hope to see you soon. I'm going to get off of here because I think I'm up to 22 minutes again. Unbelievable. How do I start talking like this and don't shut up? I want to make like a 10 or 15 minute video. It's only up to 23 minutes now. So anyway, people, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon again from Choxie's Den. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you'd like to. Okay? And thank you for the people who have been commenting so far. I appreciate it. Okay? Have a great weekend, everybody.